Hi, I'm Rashonda, and I'm the creator of this YouTube channel as well as the artbyro.com website where you can find over 200 art and drawing tutorials. Be sure to check that out, but before you do that, head on over to the art studio with me and let's watch this video on how to draw spooky trees. These are a lot of fun. There's a lot of variation you can do with them. I hope you'll want to give them a try. Let's go on over. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be drawing a spooky tree. So let's start out by getting some basic shapes and guidelines in here. So the trunk of the tree is going to come up about that high. It's going to come down here off the edge of the paper. Here's the center, and here's kind of where the face is going to be. Down there. And then for the branches, because we want this tree to be kind of animated, a little unsettling. It is a spooky tree, so we want to make these kind of branches that look like arms. So these are just some basic guides of where everything's going to be. We don't have to stick to it exactly, but it gives us a little bit of a roadmap of where we're going and what we want to put in there, where the extra details are going to go and those sorts of things. Now we can start putting in the details of the tree, rather. So what we can do is, with the trunk part of it, we want it to be uneven and kind of gnarly looking. You could also make the roots coming up out of the ground a little bit. That helps with the creepiness of these trees. And then same thing for the other side. And then the branch is going to come down into here. Just make this a little more gnarly looking, maybe have it come out a little bit, have it extend wider at the base. And then we can start working on how these branches are going to go. And we want the branches to be kind of gnarly too. So not a lot of just plain straight edges. You can add some little extra branches on it too if you want. We have this one come down. So we want to just add in some different areas to the branches. These represent where the main kind of the flow of it's going to go, the direction, a little bit of the angle, and then from there we can put the individual limbs and any extras that need to go on there. We want to make sure they're wider at the trunk part so that they look like they have something to secure them. And then just make the branches. This one looks a little bit like a hand, which is good. You want it to have a little bit of a feel like it could come to life and reach out and grab you if you're walking by. That helps with kind of that creepy, spooky, animated feel for it. You definitely want to have an animated feel to the tree. And then just keep adding some branches. And you can do the branches however you want. You can add some smaller pieces coming off. You could add longer ones. Just kind of let the drawing flow in whichever way feels good to you and looks good. If you don't like it, that's what erasers are for. Just erase, fix it, clean it up as you go. You can have them split off or not. Either way will be good. Okay, so depending on how everything kind of fits in and flows together, that's how you determine where your branches need to go, what kind of angles and shapes you want them to have. And then this one's going to just tie right up into here. I can split this off if I want. You could add, if you think there's too much negative space in there, then go ahead and add some more branches. You could tuck them in behind if you wanted. You could bring some extra little pieces coming off. If you don't like it, then just simply erase that and keep working on it. So these negative spaces up here, if you don't like those, you can fill them in with additional branches. I think I'm going to leave them. And then the next thing is going to be to work on the face. So for the face, you want to think of kind of like a jack-o'-lantern type of a face to it. You could do something different than that as well, but the way I have been drawing mine is I think about how I would do a jack-o'-lantern face on it. And then that's how I do mine. And of course, there's many, many different ways that you can do that. But I like to think of it in terms of like a jack-o'-lantern, or maybe kind of like a skeleton type looking face would be cool. You can try different things. See what works, see what doesn't. That's why I love doing my drawings on artist trading cards, because it really gives you a lot of freedom to experiment, try different things. Because of being smaller, they don't take as much time to make, so it really makes it easy to try different things and experiment. So now the next thing I need to do is start filling this in. So I'm going to start with an outline. I'm going to use my Sharpie pen that I use for most of my drawings, and then I can use a marker to fill in the rest of it. So I'm literally just going to trace right over top of the pencil lines that I want to keep, and then I can use an eraser to clean this up and then fill it in with black. Now I'm going to do mine kind of like a silhouette type of a drawing, where it's just going to be solid black. But you can do yours different if you want. You can make it gray. You could do a regular brown colored tree if you want. I think the black helps with the spookiness of it. It's a little more creepy when it's just solid black, but you can experiment, try different things. I've never really played around with how to do the colors, so that might be a good one to try something different. And you could always add more branches if you want. You could add a few leaves. You don't want too many leaves because typically this would be a tree that's either dead or not in a good stage of life. So you don't want a lot of leaves, but you could add a few little leaves in there if you wanted to. Maybe like just a couple random ones hanging somewhere. That might look good. And then going over this face. And then for the eyes and the nose and the mouth, you can leave them just white or whatever color your paper is, or you could make them like a yellow or an orange where they kind of glow. Move that down where you can see it. So the next thing is to clean it up with a block eraser, or you can use this pink eraser or any other type of eraser. This just happens to be one that I have laying around. And then I'm going to use just a regular black marker, and I'm going to fill everything in, and I'll be back with you when I have those things done. Now that that's all filled in, there's just a couple little finishing touches. I'm going to fill the eyes and the mouth and the nose with yellow. You could do this with red. You could do it with orange. You could leave it white. And then the other thing I like to do is to just take a colorful marker and go around the edges just to add a little bit of color. Now you could also do some kind of scenery in the background. You could put maybe a sky back there. Maybe a sunset would be cool. But at the very least, I like to put in just this little bit of an accent color, just to brighten it up a little bit, add a little something to it. And all I do is go right around the edge of whatever the object is, so in this case the tree. And then if you want, you can also go around the edge of your paper, or in this case the artist trading card. I could do the edges as well. That's another option. And you can do this thicker, you can do it thinner. You could try varying the line weight that goes around, where some areas are thick and some areas are thin. by intentionally controlling which areas are thick and which are thinner. I don't worry too much about it. It's going to just kind of naturally vary a little bit. You could try keeping it more consistent if you want, but I do think adding this little bit of color around the edge kind of takes the drawing to the next level. And then the final thing you can do, and this is totally optional, you could use a white jelly roll and add in a few little areas of highlights where maybe the moon might be reflecting off the tree. Mostly it just kind of breaks up all that black. Adds a little bit of contrast, some variation to it. So you don't have just those big chunks of solid black areas. And of course, this is optional. If you like the way it looks, add it in. If not, leave it and just leave everything just a solid black. It's up to you. And that's it. We're going to call this one done. I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully you feel inspired to make some of your own artwork. And I will see you in the next one. Happy creating! Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and hopefully you feel inspired to create some of your own artwork. And don't forget to check out that description box. There's some information in there about those artist trading cards, as well as some other things you might enjoy. And if you did enjoy this video, please give us a like. It helps us out. And also subscribe if you want to get notified of future videos. And I will see you soon. Bye!